Well, I haven't touched on this in a while. It's been a little while since I've had a video like this, and that's probably a good thing. I don't care how long you've been doing something. I don't care how good you are at it. Unless you were just this most incredible, exceptional human being, there are going to be times when you screw up, you make a bad decision for all the wrong reasons, and it's going to be too late. I have been in that situation countless times early on. I mean, countless times. Usually related to a hard drive issue or overdoing the processor on the computer. Many other things when I thought I had something, it was going great, then all of a sudden I don't. Maybe it's clipping too much in the digital domain. You know, all these stupid little mistakes that everybody makes in the very beginning stages. But I've been doing this for decades now, and so you'd think I would be able to avoid all of those mistakes. Well, no. I'm just as susceptible to them as anyone else. So what was this mistake? What did I learn from it? And what do I make sure that I want to be able to talk to you guys about so you guys always avoid this or know how to deal with it when it happens? My last video, it was regarding this, the SoftTube Console 1 Mach 3. Okay, a lot of you guys make fun of me saying Mach. Get over it. I call it Mach, okay? I know it's Mark or whatever, but leave me alone. I got bigger problems right now. So anyway, I spent an entire day recording that video because I had a lot of technical problems along the way. I had a lot of issues syncing my phone, which was shooting straight down, to Final Cut Pro, along with my Sony a7 IV back here. So I was having to constantly realign the phone's, synchronization as I'd go through it. But I worked through all of that. So anyway, I didn't have time. Typically, so that you know, I typically record my voice. Okay, what's happening right now? There's a microphone right there, and I'm recording it into my digital audio workstation through my RME UFX Plus. So I record the audio portion of this, or the voiceover part, that way. And then, of course, I record my video on my camera, right? And so then I get that into Final Cut Pro, or if you use Premiere Pro, or whatever it is you use, then I synchronize those together so they're locked together. This way I can process my audio easily without having to import a video and everything else within my digital audio workstation to get it ready ultimately to be able to deliver to you guys. And so typically the settings I have for the various plugins, including EQ, compression, deep breath, there's a bunch of things going on, a limiter towards the end. It rarely changes, to be honest with you. So I was in a situation to where I needed to process the audio, but I couldn't listen to it. And so I just ran it through and then bounced it down and just accepted that audio had to be good because nothing else had changed. Or so I thought. So then anyway, I pull that in there and I'm editing the video on a set of AirPods and stuff like that. So it's very difficult to judge the overall audio quality because when you do this, it's got to work in a car, it's got to work on a TV, it's got to work well with earbuds, it's got to sound good with headphones. Those are a lot of different things, and music is easier to contend with, quite honestly, than the singular voice is. So that's a little bit harder. It was harder than I thought when I first started this. Ultimately, I got everything edited and put together and I exported that movie out, which was the very first posting, red flag right there, the very first posting of that video. So I put it up there and then my viewers quickly said, hey, what's going on with the audio? Way too woofy, way too much low end, no clarity and stuff like that. So boom, I jump in, I go listen to it and I said, holy crap, they're right. So I immediately pull that down and make it to where you can't see it again. And then I go to pull it back up. I put the cart before the horse, okay? This particular session grew to over 1 terabyte. Talking about my Final Cut Pro session. For a freaking 20-minute video, 1 terabyte. And that's because there were so many edits and so many layers and everything on it. I went to go clean up the drive because I was running out of space. I had an NVMe external Thunderbolt enclosure, and I needed to clean that up because there's other things I needed to do. So I went ahead, once I exported that video out, I deleted the session, which is what I typically do in all situations. But in all the other situations, video export that I did turns out to be the one that I'm happy with and I'm letting go. Well, this wasn't the case. All I had was that original audio file, okay, or that original video, that was way too woofy, way too basic. And now I've got to polish a turd because I can't go back to the original and just redo it. It's gone. So then, okay, I go in and I make all the edits and changes. And I'm like, man, this is not working. This is not working. I finally I spent hours on this, get it to a point, and it still sucks. So I posted it back up thinking, okay, I can live with this. I'm not happy, but I can live with it. And I posted it back up. And then I started listening to it again. And I said, I cannot have this. I cannot have a video out there where the audio quality is this bad. It just represents me horribly and I can't have it. And I had almost a couple thousand views at that point. This was in like the first day of reposting it. So I yanked that down, which means I lost all those views. And yes, we get paid with monetization from views and viewer engagement and things like that. But I was willing to forego. If I made no money on this video, then fine, but it was going to be right. And then all of a sudden I realized, Barry, there's a reason you have backups of all your data. And why didn't you think to go to the backup? So I get home that night, I pull it up, and I've got the backup on, so I was able to move that back over to the drive, redo the audio the proper way to get the ultimate results in the third time of posting that video. The third time. I'm sure I look like a total idiot to most of you guys, but I felt there needs to be some kind of explanation. But at the end of the day, what did I learn and invalidate? One, I learned, quit going so fast. Until you know it's right, don't get rid of those previous files. So I will try my darndest to never do that again. Because had I not done that, it would have been so much faster and so much easier. So don't do that. But then remind all of my viewers out there how important it is to have a backup of all your data. All of it. And I actually have 2 layers of backup. I have an external drive that I back up to on a basically I think it's every 6 hours it backs up. And then I have another external drive that does a backup of the backup, but then it's not plugged in between those backups, right? I'll do that one typically once a week, and it usually takes about 10 or 15 minutes, and then I unplug it because I live in Central Florida where we get horrible storms throughout the year, bad lightning, so it's not uncommon to get lightning strikes and things like that can really blow up a hard drive. I've had that happen with other things here in the studio that aren't connected through my protected power source. I need to get another one to add to it. But always back up. Can't begin to tell you. And then lastly, always remain humble. Always remain humble. Be willing to admit to everyone when you make a mistake. Others can learn from your stupidity and my stupidity at times, because when we go back and we look at these things in retrospect, we think, what the crap, man, I'm so freaking stupid. And I don't like being stupid. I like kind of being somewhat smart, regardless of what my wife says. But anyway, hope you've learned from this. Hopefully you've gained some from it. Maybe for those of you wondering why in the crap did I post that video so many times, well, now you know. And so there you go. So I hope you can learn from my mistakes. I think learning and growing from your mistakes as well as other people's mistakes is invaluable as you're going through your journey to get to become the very best that you can be at anything, whether it's audio, I don't care what it is, always try to be the very best you can at everything you can, because it defines who you are. Do it for yourself. Don't do it for others. Do it for yourself. If you do it for yourself, your passion will come through and others will benefit from it. So that's my advice to you today. Do me a favor. If you got some comments, leave them down below. You got any questions, leave those down below. Want to share some of your screw-ups in your day? Put those down below and let's all learn from those too. But until next time, I hope every one of you have a great day. Don't forget, great day. But don't forget, okay, I got links down below. If you're looking to purchase a piece of gear, I've got links down below for Sweetwater. Just go down in the description. You can also find a list of gear that I've used and approved, so you know if it's listed down below, and I'm going to continue to add to that list. It's something that has my approval, if that means anything to you. But then there's the first link above that can be used to purchase anything. You know, I don't make very much money off the views of YouTube, so I do want to get compensated for the work that I do. And one way you can help me do that is to support the channel by making your purchase. If you're going to make it via Sweetwater, then do that down below. It's one of the ways you can help me out. And so I would appreciate that. So until next time, now have a great day. Bye-bye.